ClueCon Weekly, the FreeSWITCH community's official web show. Tune in every week for updates in the FreeSWITCH project, interesting presentations, and interact with members of the FreeSWITCH community. ClueCon Weekly is brought to you by FreeSWITCH Solutions, the officially endorsed consulting firm of the FreeSWITCH project. FreeSWITCH Solutions solves problems so you can focus on your business. Visit FreeSWITCH.com for more information. The ClueCon WebRTC and Telephony Developers Conference. ClueCon is held every August in the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois. Meet the developers of all your favorite open source telephony projects, make the connections you need to meet your business goals, and see the latest and greatest technology in WebRTC and telephony. Visit ClueCon.com for more details.
All right, guys, welcome to ClueCon Weekly. Today is December 16th, 2015. This will be the last ClueCon Weekly of the year, except for maybe a special show here. Right around the first of the year, you'll see that. This week we have Italo Rossi joining us all the way from South America. He's going to be talking about the Evolux call center system that him and his team have been working on. So he'll be joining us here shortly. Few announcements here. Coming up in right after the first of the year, on the 11th of January, we will have, the 6th of January, we'll have Dave Horton talking about Node.js and load balancing with FreeSWITCH. So you guys want to be back here for that. That'll be the first show of 2016. So get in here and join us. Also, Mr. West, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Any news and announcements you want to get out there for the for this week?
Yeah, so I would like to do another call out for bug marshals for Jira. If you guys would like to get involved and assist with helping with our bug tracking system, be sure to get in touch with myself or Mr. Rice. In addition, I put out an email to the list about the config files for the upcoming 1.8. I've also published a preliminary outline of how I think it should go. So if you guys could take a look at that, get me feedback as soon as possible, because I would like to get moving on that. I've also put a Git repo up. If you go to stash.freeswitch.org in the FreeSWITCH repo, you'll see fsconfig 1.8. Check that out and get involved and help make the 1.8 configs even better.
Cool. Thank you very much, Mr. West. Next up, we've got Miss Kathleen King, and I think she's got a few things from last week. How you doing, Kathleen?
Oh, I'm doing really well. We do. This week, we saw an update to the administrator menu for Virtual Communicator for the week in review. And then I have a few announcements. Start thinking about planning for ClueCon. Don't let it sneak up on you. And then also, if you're interested in like packaging or documentation, join our HIP chat rooms for both of those. You can sign in with your email address at hipchat.freeswitch.org and join the conversation. If you have any input or if you want to help or if you just have some ideas or something, that'd be great. We just need more people. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Both ClueCon and FreeSWITCH to get all the latest updates, and subscribe to this YouTube channel because you'll get all the good videos and you get to see everything that's going on with FreeSWITCH. That's about it.
Cool. Thank you, Kathleen. One other thing that I'd like to mention before we get out of here, I want to say happy holidays from all of us here at the ClueCon Weekly and FreeSWITCH team out to you and yours. Hopefully you guys have a good holiday season and nobody has too much fun. So coming up, we've got Italo here. So Italo, how are you doing today, sir? Let me get you on screen.
Hi, I'm fine.
There we go. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks.
So you want to introduce yourself to everybody real quick? Let everybody know who you are, and let me know when you get ready for your screen share.
Okay, I'm Italo. I'm the CTO of the Evolux Sistemas, which is a company from Brazil. And here we developed the call center ACD and analytics solution. So I'm the CTO and the co-founder of the company. There's the other co-founders are here with us, also Humberto and Gustavo. And today I'm going to show the all solution. I'm walk through some screens and some panels and some features that I think it's cool to show for you guys. Querendo dizer que começou com asterisco e a gente migrou para FreeSWITCH, né? Só isso já é uma historinha boa. The screen share it's ready.
All right. Let's see here. Get you on. There you go.
Okay, can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Evolux is a call center platform built on top of FreeSWITCH today. It is focused in inbound and outbound calls with support to blended mode. So one agent within his seat can receive both calls from an ACD and from. So both modes of operation will work with one single seat, and the calls will be synchronized between the operations mode. The first version of our platform was built on top of Asterisk, and then we changed it for FreeSWITCH, where we could do a lot of improvements to the stability and some other features that we could develop with more confidence and make it better in some aspects that we found. So I'm going to show here one of the most used panels, which is a wallboard panel. So in this screen, let me change for the English one. So this panel, I think it's not updating the screen share video.
It's probably lagging behind. Give it just a second.
Okay. So there we go. Yeah. So this is the main panel of Evolux. It was built to stay in a wallboard. So in this left side and the orange side here, we can see how many customers are waiting online in the queue to be answered. In the middle of this green box, we can see how many calls we have now being handled by an operator. So this number will show how many customers are talking to agents. And in the right side, in the blue box, we can see information about all the agents that are paused right now. So we have two types of pause, which can be productive and non-productive. So the productive one are pauses related with the job, like back office or a meeting or some other thing related to the job. And the non-productive one are pauses for personal reasons, like you are going to the bathroom, or you have to answer a personal call or something like that. And the bottom number, which we can see here, that is 1, is the number of operators idle and waiting for calls. Okay, so we have here a detailed panel. Let me wait for the screen share video. It's taking a little long to update the video.
They've really got
So,
Chrome screwed up on that lag.
so in this detailed panel, we have the same information that we had in the first panel. In the panel, it's the same concept. Like the left side here will show the calls waiting in the queue, which now is 0, and the center will be calls that are being handled by agents. And in the right side, we see the same information like paused agents and agents idle. That means waiting for calls to be delivered to the extension. So, but in this panel, we can see a bit more information, like how many times the agent is online here. That you can see Italo online for 1 hour and 4 minutes, and which extension Italo is using. In this case, is 612. How many times he's idle. When Italo got the last call. Let me see, the third entry here is Vitor Torres. So he got a call 2 hours and 23 minutes before, and he's idle for 2 hours and 23 minutes. So he did nothing between his last call and now. We can see here also the tier, or that means the level of the agent. We have agents with level 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this level will be used to distribute the calls according to the agent level. We can see here in the right side of the extension, we see a little sound icon, which I can click here and start listening to the agent extension. So when I click here, a small black box will pop up to the screen with a WebRTC call with eavesdrop to the agent extension. So I don't need a hard phone. I don't need to have a soft phone on my PC. I just need to enter in the panel and click this little icon, and a new WebRTC call will be made to the FreeSWITCH and start eavesdropping the agent extension. When the agent gets one call, I will start listening to the conversation, and when I don't want to listen anymore, I can click on this X icon and close the call. I also have the volume controls here, which I can adjust if I need, and I can also click on the agent name, and I will access the panel of this working agent, which is this one. There we go. So this is the agent main panel. So where he can see all the info about the current session. Like I'm Italo, I'm logged in for 1 hour and 6 minutes. I'm working on the queue dev and Evolux level 2. Okay, so this is the state of my seat. I'm available. It's in Portuguese here, but we also have English support. So like this one. Okay, so I have the position state here, which is available, and my extension, which is 100 using SIP. On the center of the screen, I have the timeline, the agent's timeline, which will show every action the user are doing. So if I pause here, I can click here. Modal will show with the pause reasons. Let me see. I'm waiting for the screen share video. Okay, so here I have a list of the available pause reasons that I can choose. So I have 10 minutes rest for 10 minutes. I have breakfast. I have back-offs and bathroom. So I will choose here back-offs, and in the timeline we'll show a new entry with pause for back-offs. So the unpause button here is red because in this kind of pause, I've set up a maximum time allowed for the duration of this pause. So when the user exceeds this time, it will start hearing a beep, which I'm now hearing, but in the button color will become red. This same information will be available on the panel, like this one. So now we can see that Italo is in the box of agents pause, the pause the agents, okay, with the pause reason backoffs and duration 54 seconds, and his entry is red because he's exceeding the maximum allowed time. There's a little icon here that I can click and disable the sound notification for this panel. So if I don't want to hear a beep telling me that there are agents exceeding the pause times, I can click here and disable the sound. So when you are watching like every single queue, you can have just the panel and the detailed panel. Okay, so you can see the panel and the details panel, but I can also start monitoring one single queue in this main screen. I can choose the supervisor option. Okay, and here I can see a list of available queue groups to be monitored and a list of available. Here. Where are they? Okay, here. So to be live monitored. If I click here in support, tá bipando para todo mundo. Okay. Let me just disable this beep. Okay, so I just clicked in the support queue, and a new panel with the same information will be available on the screen. But now I have two more options on the top menu here. I have the SLA that I can click, and this new panel will show detailed information about the SLA of this queue. In the configuration of the queue, you can set how many time is expected for the agent to handle the call. So if you put here 300 seconds, we will start gathering metrics and plotting these metrics of how many calls are being handled in the queue within this time. So the same thing you can do with the wait time, which we configured here for 10 seconds. And now we have the last 5 minutes here, all the answered calls, and okay, so the last 5 minutes here, all the answered calls were answered in less than this configured time. So I can see statistics here for the last 5 minutes, for the last 30 minutes, sales from today, and for the whole month. So this is one of the coolest features that we have, because we are showing statistics about the last 5 minutes. And the last 5 minutes, it's the time that you can react about and do something about to change this situation. So if you can keep the 5 minutes and the 30 minutes in a green color here, that means with a value bigger than 80%, you can guarantee that the last 60 minutes and the today will be a good day. So you will have good metrics. So a few other features that we have are related to reportings. So in the main Evolux screen, we can see 4 boxes here. The first box, the blue one, is related to the agent, which I can click, and I'm going to the agent panel. This one is the supervisor one to see the panels, the key panels. This one is the manager reporting. So if I click here, I'm gonna see all the available reporting separated by an area. Okay, aquí. So we have the service level here. In the service level entry, I can see a report called answered, abandoned, and SLA, which is I think it's the most used one. I have also reports related to agents, like agents productivity. Let me show the English version of this one, that it will be easier to understand. Okay, so we have service level reports, we have agents reports on the second box. On the third box, we have calls reports like call history. Here we have calls and call history. Okay, call history, call issues. The call issues report is a pretty cool one that the agent can tag a specific call with specific problems. Like if the agent is answering a call right now and he's having technical problems, technical difficulties, like the voice is metallic or robotic, or you are not hearing the customer. In the agent panel, you can tag this specific call with this specific problem. So let me show here. Okay, I'm opening the agent panel here to demonstrate this. So I'm in the agent panel here. In the timeline of this agent, I can see a call made to 6011 with a duration of 1 second. Let me show here. The screen share video is a little lagged, so I'll wait a little more. So okay, so here we have the duration of this call. I have a button to redial this call. I can select an outcome of this call. That means what happened if the customer got the problem solved or something like that. And in this last button here, okay, in this last button here, I can click and I can report a specific problem with this call. So specific technical problem with this call. So in the first one here is in Portuguese because the customer can choose which problems will be available here. So the first one is the call was customer voice, or the customer can't hear me, or the call was a low volume or something like that. So if I click here, I can click here, select the technical problems that I want to report, and then I can submit this change. Okay, back in the report. In all of those calls with technical problems reported by the agents will be available here. And I can see a list of them. I can hear the recording. I can get a little graph showing me how the amount of calls are with problems and how the amount of calls are without problems. So I can see I can get an idea of how many calls I'm getting technical problems per day, and if this number is changing too much this week or today, I can know if something different or strange is happening in my technical infrastructure. I'm going to show the answer and abandoned and SLA report here, which is a nice one. Let me click here. Okay, there we go. Okay, in this little form, I can select the start date of the report. I can select the end date of the report, and I can select the queues or the queue groups which I want the report. So I'm going to select all queues here, and I'm going to group this data by day. I can select hour, half hour, quarter hour, weekday. So there's a few options here, and I'm gonna generate this report. So here I can see a little graph that will be showing the SLA of this queue related with the number of the calls that has been abandoned. So here in this table, I can show which days it's included in the report, which is only today, because I choose it here only today. And I can see how many total calls I had in this period. How many calls I have answered in this queue. What's the percentage of that calls? How many calls were answered after 60 seconds? How many calls I got abandoned and dropouts, that are calls that the customer were giving up of the call. So you can set up a specific time, a minimum time that a call will be abandoned in the queue, and you can consider this call as abandoned or dropout. So let's say if you configure the minimum time of 10 seconds, if a caller joined your queue and hang up the call before these 10 seconds, it won't be considered as abandoned calls. Will be considered as a dropout. So how many calls I got lost? I get lost. So the callers are calling in a specific time that my set is out of working time. How many calls I got in the SLA wait? That means in 10 seconds, in this case. How many calls get answered with SLA duration? So I can click here in the day and get a little more information about this specific day. So since I don't have calls this day, so the graph will be empty and the table will be empty. Can I go ahead? You guys have some questions, or it's okay?
What frameworks did you use to build this UI?
Okay, the question is what the framework we use to build this UI, right?
Correct. Italo, are you still there?
I think we lost Italo.
I think he must have all snapped.
He may very well have all snapped. Let's see here. He was having a little bit of bandwidth issues there. Yep, he went bye-bye.
Should be back momentarily.
Bandwidth out of South America is just so horrific anyway.
It's not. I think he has pretty good bandwidth locally. I think it's the interconnection from there to the U.S. It's the big one.
Yeah, that's where the problem is. They actually have pretty good in South America. They actually typically have pretty good local bandwidth, but to come back up to they usually transit either back up to the state via undersea cable, and buying bandwidth on those undersea cables is insanely expensive. I've had a box co-load in Panama before, and where we can buy bandwidth here in the States for well under $10 per megabit, at a colo facility. In Panama, just to get U.S. bandwidth or U.S. transit down there is like $100 a megabit. It's insanely expensive, and then that doesn't include your power or your other stuff you have going on. So let's see here. Okay, hopefully Italo will be right back with us. You're not getting audio, huh? Yeah, Italo's working to see if he can get back in. Yeah, give him just a minute. No, I don't think we're getting it. Italo
Yeah,
back.
I'm back.
Yay!
So I'm not sure if this is related to bandwidth or if it's related to Chrome.
Yeah, it could be Chrome. They keep
I hope
changing the web.
so.
They keep changing the WebRTC underlay in there, so we keep having, as you know, we keep having to fix that. Just yeah, me and Tony were already discussing this last week, I think it was, where they're actually rearranging the entire Get User Media subsystem. So that's going to be fun. So,
Nice. So I
right,
started
guys.
the screen share.
Yeah, all right, so let's get the screen share back where it needs to be, and we'll get things back. Let's see here, get you tagged on there. So before we left, Italo was asking, before we had that little issue there, Italo was asking, does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions for Italo? Go ahead and unmute and ask. Or you can ask in the chat window or on IRC or on HipChat in the ClueCon channel. I think Brian had asked, what frameworks were you guys using to build this user interface?
Okay, I thought I answered that question, but I think we lost the call. So the framework we are using is in Python, which is called TurboGears, but the UI is built on top of Backbone.js. We also use jQuery and a few screens with Angular.js. So a bunch of frameworks.
Nice. Now with this, with this platform, is this a hosted solution? So software as a service where somebody can contact you and get this, or is this open source, or what's your licensing model on here?
No, this is a commercial solution, and basically we are selling these here in Brazil as a on-premise. But it is not limited to this. We can sell it on a specific cloud. So it will depend of the customer's infrastructure. So here in Brazil, it's more common that we sell these, putting it on premise on the client, on the customer infrastructure. And no, it's not open source. It's closed to commercial.
Cool. All right. Anybody else have any questions for Italo? Actually,
I've got one. What WebRTC signaling protocol are you using from the browser to your FreeSWITch?
In this specific version that I'm showing to you, it's running SIP, but we did the migration to the Virtual, but it's not running yet in production. So we still have a few homework to do to make this available for production.
So we also have another question from on the IRC channel, Italo. Boatman, aka John, asked, are there different themes for the layout and templates for different human languages, i.e. multilingual?
Okay, we support English and Portuguese. It's just a matter of a configuration setting that I can change here and show all of this interface in English or Portuguese. And about the theme, no, there's no theme, but it's pretty easy to customize these screens for putting the customer logo or changing some colors.
All right, guys. Anybody else have a question for Italo? All right, cool. Anything else on Evolux you want to show us, Italo?
I think I missed just one feature that I want to show. The people who are used to work with call center maybe like this one. This feature is called the notes. Like if you are running your call center today and something happens, like a disaster or something that affects the number of the agents that will be available in your company to answer your calls. Like there is no bus, there is no train, or something bad happened and just 50% of the people showed up to work today. So you can insert this info here, like let's wait the screen share. There you go. So I can insert here in the journal the date of the thing that happened, like no bus service. So 50% of the agents are not working today. And I can select the queue that will have this note. I can select all of them or a specific queue. So when you, let's say 1 month after this, when you are seeing your reports, this specific note will be present in every report that you are seeing, which is including this day that happened this. So it's pretty easy to remember why this specific day my service level is so bad, or my number of connected agents is so low, or my number of abandoned calls or lost calls is so high. So you can keep a journal of what's happening or informations that can be important to the operation. And this is one feature that is really useful to our customers.
Yeah, that's good to know.
So I can see here that
a lot of people start looking at their reports and their week over week or month over month or year over year reports, and they don't remember that, that particular date was a holiday or something, happened that day, and they want to know why it's bad. They have to go dig through the calendar to find out.
Yeah, that's it. You don't need to use your memory for this kind of information. You can put in the journal. So we have a few more features that I won't show here because it will take too much time. But we have the dialer, we have the predictive dialing support, we have the QA, the quality assurance. Every call that gets being answered are recorded, and every call that you answer in the platform are recorded, and for each call you can answer a questionnaire and rate the agent if the agent did the correct thing, if the agent talked to the customer, saying things that you want to be told to the customer. So there is this module, we have that feature. And this one is the last one that I want to show, is the overview. It's like a summary panel where you can see your channel occupations. Let's say we have here 15 trunks. It could be SIP trunks or TDM trunks. All of the usage of these trunks will be summarized here and showed in this graph in the left side. In the middle, I have the calls by type. So I can see here that we have 2 calls in the call center. That means 2 inbound calls in the queues. This little 0 here is showing that we have 0 calls in the IVR. And the last one is the campaign. I don't have calls right now running the campaign. So when I have calls, I can see in this box here how many calls, which campaigns are running right now, which calls are in which IVRs. I have here IVR Evolux. It's the main one, so I don't have calls right now. I have the 3 more test IVRs. And the right side, I have this black box here showing how many calls are in the queues. I have one waiting call here. I have one talking call. I just answered 90 calls today. And in the bottom here, I can show how many agents are online, how many agents are free, and so on. So here we have the NER 17, which is a Brazilian law, very specific for Brazilian. But this law, this counter here, I can show how many agents are doing prohibited operations. Like here, if you start working, if you are an agent, if you start working, you can't pause for rest in your first hour of your job, and you can't also pause in your last hour of your job. So you must be start answering calls and keep answering calls for 1 hour, and then after that time you can make your pause. So we put this counter here because it's very useful for the Brazilian customers. And the second one here is like a pause overflow. So if you configure a threshold in a specific pause like meeting, so you only have 1 hour for meeting, and let's say if you pause now for meeting and keeps paused for 1.5 hours, it will count here as a pause overflow. So this is a very specific panel with all of the most important information summarized here. And from here, you can start looking the other panel, the queue specific panel, the campaign panels, the agent panels, and so on. So all of this information are available in real time. We use WebSockets. So as soon as things are happening, you are seeing the counters changing. So it's really useful. So I think I didn't miss the most important feature. So if you guys have any other questions, I can answer now.
Cool. All right, guys. Any other questions for Italo on the call center? Any other general questions for Italo? As you guys know, Italo and his team have been working heavily on Verto Communicator and some other stuff in that arena. All right, then. Let's see here. Yes, it is. All right, guys. Italo, thanks for coming out today and showing everything off. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us, and I really appreciate your time in giving us this space to show our solution. So, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming out. Let's see here. Let me adjust this thing real quick. Coming back. Let's see here. We will be the FreeSWITCH team and ClueCon Weekly team will be taking the holidays off next week and the following week for the Christmas holiday and for the New Year's holiday. Be on the lookout for. We may have some content to post between now and then. So subscribe to the YouTube channel and get that content. We will be back right after the first of the year with Dave Horton. So watch for those announcements going out. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at ClueCon and at FreeSWITCH. Also, like our page and follow us on Facebook. Get all those upcoming dates and everything that's coming forward. Thank you, and we'll see you guys in a few weeks. Have fun, guys.